If Arirang TV has the Culture Wave to provide you with your daily dose of K-culture issues at 2 p.m. Korea time, Arirang Radio has *Culturecrunch for listeners and viewers alike to crunch on a different flavor of K-culture every day at 11 a.m. Korea time. Now for today's Hallyu People, we have invited the host of *Culturecrunch to our program, Joel Lane. Joel, welcome to the Culture Wave.
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me. It's very great to be here.
Thank you for joining us. So you're the DJ of *Culturecrunch,
yes.
And it's been around a month now that you have been picked as the next DJ of *Culturecrunch. So first off, we didn't get the chance to say this. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Many people have been congratulating me on it, and it does feel really great to be part of the Arirang family. And also to have my own show. So yes, thank you very much.
Okay, so please introduce yourself a little bit to the Culture Wave viewers and also a bit first about yourself.
Okay, so for those of you guys who are watching this right now, my name is Joel. I am the current host of Culturecrunch on Arirang Radio and TV. I was once a K-pop idol many years ago, and then after that, ended. I moved forward into doing just everything, really. These days, I'm doing a lot of acting, and I am also doing this, of course, the radio. I do variety shows occasionally, and I just kind of do everything. It's kind of like I just enjoy being in front of a camera and having fun, and it just comes really naturally. So that's basically what I do now.
You are a natural. So how do you feel about your new role now as DJ of Culturecrunch?
Well, I was actually a guest DJ on Arirang Radio since I was an idol, so like 10 years. And I was always waiting for that moment. I was like, one day I'm gonna have my own show. And then finally, out of nowhere, I was like, hey, do you want to host your own show? And I was like, yeah. So it's really like a blessing, and it's a lot of fun to be able to do it. I'm not gonna lie, it is challenging sometimes, given that, there's such a huge variety of people and events and things that we have to cover. But I learned a lot while going about this show, but I do have a lot of fun while doing it. So it's an honor, and it's a pleasure, and it's a dream come true. I'll get into it a little bit more later, but yeah, it is definitely.
We have to agree with a lot of you that you just mentioned.
Yes,
it's really fun, but also challenging to talk about all of these culture issues.
So you are the host of Culturecrunch. We want to know more about this program. Please introduce your program, the Culturecrunch.
Okay, so Culturecrunch is a radio and TV program that kind of touches all the bases about Korean culture. So, other shows, they might cover K-pop or K-drama or certain aspects of Korean culture, but Culturecrunch kind of covers everything. So every single day, including the weekends, we have a different sort of, how would you say, like a theme for the shows that we do. So, we have days where we interview experts in their field living in Korea. We also interview singers as well. We have different segments where we learn Korean. So we'll bring in Korean language experts, and we kind of learn Korean together. In the weekends, we kind of cover, how would you say it, maybe bands that not that many people would know, but we kind of do our best to expose their talents and all the great music you have. And we also even have a literature day where we kind of cover Korean literature. So you get to really have a taste of everything, current events even, just everything that you can imagine. It's kind of like the 종합 program, the total, you get a little bit of everything. So, in my opinion, I'm not being biased, I'm just saying, but in my opinion, it is if you want to get a very broad look at every aspect of Korean society and Korean culture, then Culturecrunch, tune in.
But also Culture Wave.
And Culture Wave.
Culture Wave.
Okay, we are not rival programs.
No. You guys,
not at all.
We're good. We have
We're
our own roads that we travel, but we love each other anyway.
Of course. And I have to mention my favorite part of Culturecrunch is when you have the live performances of bands and also solo singers. That's my favorite part. Definitely. Now let's go back to you. You mentioned, Joel, that you are also acting these days. Yes. So I heard that you, as you said, you were a member of an idol group, and you're also an actor. You're a voice actor, and also a model, right?
Yeah. I just came back from Milan not too long ago, so
wow.
That was fun.
Milan.
I try to do everything I can.
Right, so you're such a pro end jobber, I would have to say, but much of that is related to K-culture.
So, everything, yes.
What do you think of the Hallyu phenomenon?
Well, I moved to Korea many years ago in 2006. And at that time, the Hallyu was just starting to be born. It was nothing like it is now. So I never really thought too much about it until I remember I went to the States sometime in like 2010, somewhere around there. And I remember starting to see K-pop singers like on American TV. And I was like, wow, this is bigger than I thought. And I mean, even now, it's just huge. Like, it rivals, Korean movies and dramas rival Hollywood in some ways. Korean music also rivals, the top singers in whatever country. So I'm very proud because the culture that I grew up in and the industry that I work in, it has exploded to such a level that I can't help but be proud. And in a way, even though, I make fun of myself, I poke fun at myself as saying like, oh, my K-pop group failed and all that stuff. But to be honest, I am proud because in a way, I am a part of the Hallyu wave. So I feel a little bit that's why I feel so much pride in the Hallyu wave. Yeah, definitely.
You should be. You should feel that pride.
Yes, definitely. And you are in Korea right now, but you were actually born and raised in the U.S.
Yes.
So how did you kind of first get interested or get involved in K-entertainment industry? Okay,
so get ready for this, everybody. So when my dad was in the U.S. Air Force. So, you move constantly when you're in the military. And there, I came with my whole family to Korea. And at the time, I lived in Songtan, like 부대찌개 Songtan, So I moved down to Songtan. And then, actually, Arirang has a really big part of me debuting, to be honest with you. So I've mentioned this before in other interviews and stuff, but I didn't know much about Korea when I first came here. So I actually tuned into Arirang Radio at that time in 2007-ish, right? And there was a certain program that I listened to every single day when I could. And that was a show called Midday Break. And it was hosted by DJ Isak. And when I see someone that looks like me, that is the same ethnicity as me, half Korean, half white, someone that is of mixed blood, and I really looked up to Isak 선배님, a lot. So I listened to it all the time, and Isak actually invited me to Arirang.
Oh, wow.
And I came here for the first time ever just as a guest to come look in 2007 or 8 or something like that. And from that moment, it was kind of the catalyst that was like, okay, if she can do it, then I can do it. So I want to try. And of course, it happened. So yeah, so I think that Arirang definitely has a big place in my heart. So to be able to work here after all these years is really fascinating to me. It's like, oh, look how life works out, It's very interesting.
So you're living your dream.
Yeah.
And you're promoting K-culture to the world. And besides being the host of Culture Crunch, in what other ways do you think you are promoting the Korean wave to the global audience?
Okay, so actually, I have been approached several times to work for various different organizations, whether it be with the government or not, to promote Korean culture and various aspects of Korean life. So I've worked to promote various sightseeing things that you can see in Korea. I've been approached for the Jewe Dongpo community to expose Korea to overseas Koreans that maybe aren't so familiar with their roots and things like that. So also, I do lots of YouTube work. When they call me, sometimes I'll go out and, do what I can to kind of promote Korea to the world. And I take a lot of pride in being, ethnically part Korean because it's something that I was never really that exposed to growing up, but I realized just how special it is to be mixed like I am and to get to appreciate many different cultures. But Korea, me living in Korea, finding my independence in Korea, finding my adulthood in Korea, growing up here, it just has a special place in my heart. And to be honest, I have no intention of leaving. But yeah, so I do identify a lot with that. And I think that when I get called to do these different things to promote Korea on various platforms, I have absolutely no problem with it. I'm more than willing to do it. So if anybody, wants to call,
Well, I can't imagine that many other people who have similar background to you will be very inspired by your activities.
Yeah. So, I just got to say this, you never know what's going to happen until you try, right? I didn't know what was going to happen. I just tried. and it happened. So you just gotta try. Keep an open mind. That's how you become assimilated and become familiar with who you might actually be as a person.
Right.
It's a very positive message to everyone. And you will continue to promote Korea through your program, Culture Crunch. What do you want the listeners or the viewers to take on from your program, Culture Crunch?
I actually, when I received this question, I really had to think about it. I was like, I think, and I've always thought this, especially as I've become more familiar over the years with Korean culture, is that a lot of people, especially overseas, they might look at Korea and like, oh, all these really great K-dramas and all these K-pop and all this stuff. And while K-pop and K-dramas are awesome, they are great, there are so many aspects of Korean culture that, maybe it isn't as easy to learn about, but are as equally, if not more fascinating. And I'm a big advocate of understanding, the intricacies of Korean culture, Korean history, it's just everything about Korea. So what I want my listeners on Culture Crunch to take away is that there are so many different things about Korea that are beautiful, that are fascinating, that are interesting, and that are worth learning about. And I think that's where I step in, so I can help these people learn about it and kind of be able to connect to Korea in a different way than just through the regular avenues of like K-pop or something like that.
Joel, it's already almost time to let you go. But
already?
Finally, yes.
That's fast.
It's because our show is a little shorter than Culture Crunch, maybe.
Oh, okay, I see. Don't worry, it's all right.
But finally, what are your aspirations as a DJ spreading K-culture? Or is there anything on your wish list that you want to do on Culture Crunch, or maybe a special guest you want to invite?
Okay, so this ties in a little bit to, or a lot rather, to the last question, in that I think my goal here, my aspirations here is to really just take it one step at a time and, invite more and more and more guests so that not only me, but our watchers and listeners can learn as much as they can. I mean, the sky is the limit as far as I'm concerned when it comes to who I want to invite on our show. But I mean, just the top of the top at some point, but we're just starting out, or me as a DJ, I'm just starting out. So I just want to take it one step at a time, and as I'm promoting Korea and I get to share the beauty of Korea, invite bigger and bigger and bigger guests. And while each guest is precious and it is an awesome experience each and every time, I just want to invite as many people as I can so that me and the listeners and watchers can learn as much as we can.
Well, you could consider us as guests.
Hey, call them. We need to have them on the show. It's like culture, Culture Wave,
yes.
Culture
That would be
Crunch.
actually very fun.
Yeah, we'll make a collaboration, collabo.
Collabo, okay. Well, thank you very much, Joel, for being our guest today.
Thank you for inviting me.
I guess it has been a very unique experience for you, right? Because you're the one who usually has to interview.
I was saying that. I was like, I'm usually interviewing people. Getting interviewed is strange to me. Like, it's very foreign, but it is fun to finally get to talk comfortably instead of having to, ask the questions all the time.
All right, it was very fun listening to your stories. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And thank you, Bella. As always, we're going to see you back again soon.
Yes, very soon.